Morning. Just in case you don't know me. My name is Jay Huang. As you said, I was here 2015 and 16, and then come back to Korea for 4 years, and then back to I've been here since 2021. So let me show you two pictures first. I have two beautiful pictures. Can you see this? What do you think? The difference between these two? Yeah, focus. Okay. The one is focused on the yellow flower. The other one is focused on the background. So I really enjoyed the taking photos. Because I can emphasize or make something special by focusing on one thing and by blurring all the other things. Something ordinary can be special and beautiful if we take the right angle. But first, you have to find unrevealed beauty of things that are unseen or undiscovered. Just like a photography, moving your attention from one thing to another will allow us to see whole different things, allow us to have whole new experiences. If you want to do something very well, there are things you must look for. For instance, if you want to be a really good hunter, you have to be a good tracker first. You need to know where your prey eat, drink, and rest. And if you want to be a good babysitter, you need to keep the baby in your line of sight. And you need to understand every cue from the baby, like hunger, sleepiness, or wet diaper, and so on. Likewise, if you want to be a really good practitioner, what we should not miss in our line of sight is where our minds and body go. A part of your attention should be on what I'm doing right now, while I'm cleaning my room, or while I'm driving a car, or even while eating a meal. So for an advanced practitioner, what you feel, what you think, and what you act are matter of observation and practice. So how good are you in observing yourself? Studying criminal on a PhD on criminology doesn't make you a criminal. Likewise, studying on Dharma and Buddhism doesn't make you Bodhisattva or Buddha. Might help you, but doesn't automatically make you. We must put time and effort into making change within us. That effort starts from observing ourselves, yourselves, myself, and reprogramming the way of thinking and actions. Let me tell you about my mindfulness practice on a precept. As I mentioned before, I worked at a central headquarters in Korea 2017 to 2020. Because I worked in a headquarters, because there are many ministers working together, I happen to hear a lot of things that I wouldn't hear if I didn't work there. Many, what happened here, something, the other event, something there, something like that. So one time I noticed myself casually criticizing someone on some matter, some topic. And I realized that I was transgressing the precepts of do not speak about the faults of others. Because that time I was checking the precepts, I noticed that I was transgressing. So since then, I made up my mind to be mindful, not to transgress the precept. So at the beginning of the precept, at the beginning of the effort, I found myself realizing my transgression right after right after I violated the precepts. But little by little, I noticed that I was able to recognize myself right before to speak about something. Then I stopped. I was able to stop at that point. So we all have 일원상, like this one within us, which is the light of void and calm and numinous awareness. That numinous awareness gets clearer and brighter when you pay more attention to it. The more we have awareness on ourselves, the better we will be able to observe ourselves and will be able to change ourselves in good ways. Do you know why many observatories are located on mountain top out of a city or town? Probably you know there are many reasons, but one of the reasons is that the light pollution. Because when the light is too bright, it's hard to observe the stars and galaxies. When you want to observe the stars and galaxies, the darker and the better. When it comes to wisdom, one senior Gyomunim said, there are two types of wisdom. One is the wisdom that gets brighter from many thoughts. The other one is the wisdom that gets brighter by stopping your mind. Numinous awareness is our inborn wisdom that everyone does have, including Buddhas, every living beings. All living beings are equal from that point. However, the strength and the way one uses it is different word. Numinous awareness is get clearer and brighter when our minds become void and calm. So to use that, the second wisdom, we need to practice all type of meditation, including sitting meditation we just had this morning. One of the favorite line in the scripture of Won Buddhism is essential discourse on commanding the nature. Among 16 lines of them, I found these two are very helpful, especially when you are living with or working with others. 9. If anything goes wrong, do not blame others, but examine yourself. 10. Should you learn of others' fault, do not reveal it, but use it instead to perceive your own faults. These lines makes me calm and introversive. When I face situations that I get used to somewhat agitated or disturbed. Especially when something went wrong and when my mind is running around to find whose fault it is. These lines are very powerful to stop playing game in my mind and turn my attention from outside to my practice. I had this kind of instances when my colleague comes to me say, someone this and that, all wrong, and it makes me so angry, that kind of situation. And I used to say, the person doing something wrong is their problem, but getting angry right now is your problem. Don't mix it up. In Won Buddhism, there are 6 stages of Dharma practice. The third one is the grade of battle, a grade between Dharma and Mara. At the description of the grade of the battle between Dharma and Mara, there's a line, do not meddle in things that are not your business. This is very important, especially for advanced practitioners, because when your mind is too busy outside, your introspective vision can be blinded. When your outside is too bright and fancy, your inside becomes darker. If we are serious about transforming ourselves, we have to redirect our spiritual light and energy toward ourselves and have to make it priority. So one disciple asked to Master Zhongshan, I would like to know how ignorance arises from our original nature. The Master Zhongshan replied, to give you a simile, the sky is originally pure and clear, but according to the movement of a certain pneumal energy, the wind is produced. As the wind blows, cloud appears, and heaven and earth become dark. In the same way, our nature are originally pure and clear, but ignorance arises according to the action or rest of our minds. So if the mind is at rest, it is pure and clear and bright. But if the mind is active, it becomes agitated and ignorance arises. However, if the mind is active, but is active still amid stillness, then even during activity, there's no agitation, and it remains bright just as it is. But if the mind is active amid agitation, then ignorance arises, and the mind becomes belighted. When we chant about Hasra, there is a line, the Bodhisattva relies on Prajnaparamita. Therefore, the mind has no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Free from delusion, one dwells in nirvana. It's been kind of a quant to me since I went to seminary school, because I had some kind of a fear inside me. So I had a lot of time to figure out the meaning of this line. I might have some answer to me, my own answer, but please let's not let it stay. Let's not let it stay in the scripture. Just in chanting, let's find it within you, not in the scripture alone. And let's take a good care of it once we find it, and to embody the state of that mind that is free from any hindrances, fear, and delusion. It is on your part. At least we all have the seed within us. Having a good direction is important when you are departing a long journey. Life is a long journey. You might get lost in the middle of it. Your direction is more important than your speed. One of the best directions for your life is within us. Thank you.